Argyle looks exactly like Kingsman, but in a good way. Same style of action, same casting of actors you never thought would be badass, which reinforces what makes a pretty good spy. The story sounds a little too ridiculous, but seeing the novels and real life play out together should be entertaining. I was wrong about everything in that video. Argyle is fucking awful. Not once did I laugh. There wasn't a single action scene that excited me, and I knew this movie was going to be full of shit about the spy parody angle that they were going with, because for the first 5 minutes or so, we see the main character's novel being acted out, and the performances are so either wooden or over the top, sometimes both at the same time. The writing and dialogue is terrible. The action sequences are fake looking and exaggerated even by Fast and Furious standards that I've lost track of what it was even trying to parody. And the ironic thing is, the majority of the actual movie that takes place in the real world fits the exact same tone. I have absolutely no idea what Matthew Vaughn was thinking. Now, I can in good conscience say the action scenes were filmed in a sloppy way. For the most part, they were filmed in steady wide shots where you do see the characters doing the choreography and stunts. Except for Sam Rockwell, I'm not convinced for a second that he actually trained in martial arts or did any of the stunt work by himself, for a couple specific reasons. For one, whenever he does anything cool, and I mean anything, it's always filmed from behind him to hide the fact that it's obviously a stunt double, or filmed so far away that you can't see his face. And the other, and I know this is technically from a story perspective, but it still felt like a cheap cop-out. During the first two fight sequences, whenever they need to show his face punching, kicking, or throwing someone across the room, the main character blinks for a couple seconds, and she imagines Henry Cavill in his place, which felt fucking ridiculous. I know that Sam Rockwell's character is supposed to remind her of Argyle in the midst of the fact that her spy stories are becoming reality, but I didn't pay money to watch Henry Cavill and Sam Rockwell switch places. I came here to watch Rockwell prove that you don't have to be like the spiffiest looking actor in the world to be a spy. That's what made Colin Firth such a great character in Kingsman. He was a convincing secret agent to the point where when Firth actually did the stunts and choreography by himself and the camera showed that clear as day, that was what was so mind-blowing about it. Sam Rockwell has a beard, he has a mullet, or for the rest of the movie, a shaved head that you can cut to every time he tackles someone to the ground, and it was just fucking ridiculous. And when Bryce Dallas Howard out of nowhere becomes a much better spy than he does, and I'll get a tad bit into that later, when the camera actually does hold the fuck still, it is just so cheap looking, and the CGI, the green screen, the effects, everything looks about as authentic as what you're looking at right now. The only thing missing is the green hue behind me. Other than that, I could have done this in my fucking sleep. The CGI is just atrocious. I didn't look up what the budget for this was, but they clearly just set the money on fire. And they literally green screened a front porch. This movie has the budget and filmmaking style of a Tyler Perry movie. I'm speechless. The fact that you had to green screen someone knocking on the front door of a porch. And the sad thing is, there's some stylistic traits about the movie that could have worked, but they try to do so many of them all at once, and they just never clash. There's one moment where you see the past being acted out by the Argyle characters with Henry Cavill, John Cena, Lipa, and a few others. At other moments, they cut back and forth from characters in one location or another saying the exact same sentence, but they cut on the word. And it gets so annoying so quick whenever they do it. The one trait that I actually liked was that when there are flashbacks, it's black and white, but there are color symbols in the background to show you what's important, but they don't take advantage of it. But the thing that really blows my mind about how awful Argyle is that you have a great ensemble cast who are given such shitty material to work with that their performances either feel completely wooden or Saturday morning cartoon level of over the top, and it just does not fit with the tone. Sam Rockwell just acts annoyed and uninterested the entire time. Bryce Dallas Howard is so fucking naive to the point where she writes spy novels but is absolutely stunned that one would lie to her about liking cats. And in the second half of the movie, she becomes an instant better spy in every conceivable way than Sam Rockwell. And there's a twist to explain it, but it serves more as a plot convenience than an actual character arc. Bryan Cranston spends 90% of the movie in one room only, and thinks that grunting and squinting his eyes makes for a menacing villain. And even though he's 60 years old and actually announces that he's gonna shoot you with a gun for failing, nobody overpowers him whatsoever, even though they could at every conceivable option. Seriously, someone want to explain to me why that scene was essential? I'm about as charismatic as a cactus, and twice as painful. I'm unnaturally loud in every scene I'm in, which is weird. I'm only in 2 or 3 scenes. These guys are in the movie as long as they're in the trailer. Sofia Boutella and Samuel L. Jackson serve no purpose in this movie, and their casting, long story short, doesn't make sense because they were already in Kingsman. And without spoiling anything, Catherine O'Hara should really stop playing parents because she's always the worst in them, no matter what. Hi, it's Catherine O'Hara. No, my son's not home alone, but my daughter is missing. Liam Neeson's a better parent than you. I know. Bitch. And the writing, I shit you not, these reenactments are actual scenes from the movie. There's a reason I'm the keeper of secrets. I keep them. I'm just talking to you while I'm looking at this picture that clearly doesn't have a camera or a microphone or really anything conspicuous whatsoever. Who wrote this? Look, long story short, Argyle was just shit. Don't watch this by any stretch of the imagination. It is unintentional self-parody and is easily a shoo-in already for one of, if not the worst movies I've seen in 2024. And I am putting that exact quote in my worst of 2024, no matter how true or false it ends up. Anyways, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. Be sure to stay tuned for more reviews. Be sure to check me out on Patreon and buy me a coffee. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.